I know what instrument you play, but how about letting those of us out here know where your talents and gifting are as far as music and instruments?
Well, I play a lot of different instruments. At this point, there are two that I would be willing to play live just because of where I'm at with my skill level and what I feel comfortable with. But on the CD, when you can have multiple takes, there are other instruments I dabble in, and I can play a little bit of piano. I can play some bass guitar. I do a lot of keyboard work on my own. Play almost all of my own guitar work, with the exception of having Ben, my brother, come in and we jam together sometimes. Do some electric work. I play drums. I play, did I say percussion? Yeah, I play percussion. And I think that might be it. I'm not sure.
Any formal training in any of the instruments?
No, no.
Any desire?
It would be nice, but it's very difficult because of time, and finances is always an issue when you're raising a family and running a business and creating music.
How does that work?
What's that?
What you just said, raising a family, doing a business, and pursuing your music.
It's a very good question. And when I have the answer, I'll let you know. Yeah, raising a family, running business, doing music, it's a delicate balance. And I've got to be accountable with my time to my wife and to my kids. And by no means do I get it all perfect. I've got a lot of hats that I wear and a lot of different demands on my time. But through accountability to some men in my church that I'm accountable to, and also my wife, I try to balance things so that I'm getting my work done and creating a little bit of time at least once or twice a week to work on some of the music. And then in the evenings and on most of the weekends, I try to spend time with my wife and my kids to make sure that their emotional needs are being met. And also, I need to spend time with them for me too. So it's a balance, it's a day by day thing. So this is a basic digital editing program called Audacity, and I'm just using this as a demonstration. This isn't the actual program that we're going to be using for the final mixes, but this just gives you an idea of what digital editing is. So each of these sections here, these are tracks. Now you remember the 24 track that we had downstairs that I showed you? Every time I do a recording, like for example, here we have the rhythm guitar. The rhythm guitar is in stereo, so we have a left for the left speaker and a right for the right speaker, and both of those together equal one recording. This is the rhythm guitar, and you remember how I told you I bounce back and forth, back and forth? So here's like where I made a mistake and I went and I did another take here, and then I go back up and I do another take, and so on and so forth, all the way through the whole song. So that's the rhythm guitar. We've got the lead guitars, and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to show you, every time I do a recording on that 24 track, I mix it down into files so that I can separate every instrument. Like here we have a drum kit, and there's the hi-hat, the kick drum, rim shot, which is when you kind of click the edge of the snare drums. You've got the snare drum, which is when you hit the snare drum. cymbal, lots of different cymbals, and the toms. So these files I drag out of here and I drop into a session like this, where I can separate all of the instruments one by one and edit them one by one. And some songs have more files, some songs have less files. Like, for example, all of these files here, and all of these files here, and all of these files here go to just one song. And that's a big song that I'll be showing you later on in another episode. So now I'm going to minimize these, and for today we're just going to work on something that's very simple. I'm just going to show you a song that only has some small instrument, a small amount of instruments. And when it says kick drum, I labeled it a kick drum, but it's actually a guitar slap. And then the other one that says snare is a different kind of guitar slap. And so this is basically the percussions that are in this particular song. Now I'm going to pull up the song and show ya kind of how I build the song. Like I said downstairs, I start out with a rhythm guitar. So the sound quality of this isn't going to be that great because it's just going to play over these speakers into this video recording device. But at the end, I'm going to show you kind of more of a finished product through your speakers, and I promise you it's going to sound pretty good. Oh, and I just want to mention real quick that all of these video series is not all going to be about techno babble, so just bear with me. This is kind of giving you a basic idea of the technical side of it, but we're going to get into some other stories and interactions with other musicians and more relational stuff later on. So hang with me. Here's the demonstration. So here's what the rhythm guitar sounds like when I'm building a song and I just recorded the rhythm guitar. Here we go. So there's the rhythm guitar. Now look what happens when I add some percussions. Okay, so now I've unmuted the kick, which is me slapping on the bottom of the guitar, and the snare sound, which is me tapping on the top of the guitar. Gives you a percussive beat behind the rhythm guitar. Here goes. So that gives you an idea of what that sounds like. And now I'm going to turn on the lead guitar. I've recorded the rhythm guitar. Now I've recorded these percussions. And now I'm going to record the lead guitar. So let's see what it sounds like when that gets introduced into the mix. Okay, so I just turned on the lead guitar, and now we have the rhythm guitar, the kick, the snare, so the percussion section. And now I go in and record the lead and add it to the mix. Here we go. So that gives you a basic idea of how I'm building the song, one instrument at a time. And then I create the next part and I practice it, and then I record that part and just kind of build the song one instrument at a time until I have this kind of full sounding song. But it's not complete because, you know, sometimes there are timing issues. Maybe I picked a note too hard on one little note, or maybe there's a note that's flat, or maybe there's some background noise. Maybe I breathed into the mic. Maybe the guitar has too much bass, not enough treble, all kinds of issues that you have to deal with to make these things sound good on any stereo system. So we get these tracks recorded, and then import them into a session that looks like this over at the studio. And then we go through each track and we fine tune them one little bit at a time, one note at a time, until every note of every instrument, every frequency, every sound is absolutely perfect. And it is a long, painstaking process, but it's also so much fun, and there's a lot of creativity and joy that happens in the process as well. So let me now take you into somewhat of a more finished sounding product, and we will use this song here that I recorded one track at a time, like I do all of them. Took it through the process I just showed you, took it through the professional process at the studio, and now I'm going to let you hear it finished. Just a little sample. Here we go. So there's a basic demonstration of what digital editing is about, and definitely an oversimplification, but gives you an idea of what that process looks like. So now for the next episode, I'm going to be talking about and answering questions about, let's see what you wrote in here. How do I fund the music? How do I manage my time with all the demands on my time, ministry, work, family, music, etc.? And how does maintaining health and fitness play into your life? So I'll be answering some of those questions in the next episode. See you then. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that episode. Real quick, just want to give you some information. If you're looking for these albums, you can find my music on iTunes or Amazon MP3. There's other websites that are available on, but those are the most prominent. You just go into their search engines, you type in Jeremie Heston. My first name is spelled Jeremie, and my last name is spelled Heston. So type those in the search engines and the album should come up and you can download them. They're not very expensive. Also, if you haven't been able to follow every episode of the video series, both season 1 and season 2 are going to be available on YouTube. And you just simply type in Jeremie Heston, My Journey Making Music. And then of course, whatever episode number you're looking for. So for example, Jeremie Heston, My Journey Making Music, episode 1. Type that in and you'll be able to find all of the episodes. Season 1 has 22 episodes, and season 2 I think is going to have 10 or 12 episodes. I'm not sure at this point, but I'll put a little video at the end of those episodes when I get to that. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Thank you for your support, and God bless you.